So, as I understand it, Shawn was looking at two high profile jobs, one to Sid and one to his enemy, Bret Hart. We know that things would get worse between them two that year, but I think this was a contributing factor to the decline of their backstage working relationship. That's how Bret saw it anyway. Shawn deliberately ducking doing these jobs and really leaving the company in the lurch. So you can understand why, from Bret's standpoint, that he was resentful of what Shawn did. I believe that, as I understand it, that is what happened, and that is why he did it. As far as the knee injury went, didn't they have a doctor on TV talking about it? The announcers were saying, "Oh, it could be like a major reconstructive surgery. It could be a career ender, blah, blah, blah." And then I think they had a doctor on who was an actual doctor who wasn't shilling, and basically said that the injury wasn't that bad. That's how I recall. Is that how you remember it as well, Kenny?
Yeah.
And it was just like, bloody hell, smarten this doctor up. Kayfabe, for God's sake. So the doctor completely blew the angle by telling the truth. You don't do that in pro wrestling. So that was really funny there, where the doctor completely bollocksed it for them. And Shawn's alibi was torpedoed just like that. And then, he turned up at WrestleMania. Didn't seem to be anything wrong with him at all. I mean, didn't he appear on a show and did a backflip off the turnbuckles into the ring?
I think he did that in a Raw in the lead up to WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a guy who suffered a career-ending injury just weeks earlier. So no wonder Bret Hart was frothing mad about this. He was severely vexed. And, looking back, I mean, Bret took himself seriously and everything, but in this instance, I'm absolutely on Bret's side. I don't blame him at all for being angry. I mean, he put Shawn over at WrestleMania 12. Sadly, there wasn't more falls in the match, and the match was really boring and everything, but he did do the job and then, disappeared, or at least left TV for a while. He didn't return to, I know he did some shows overseas, but didn't return to TV until just before, it was October, wasn't it, when he signed the new deal. So, I mean, Bret had done the favour there, and this was time for Shawn to reciprocate. And that reciprocal job was not forthcoming, Kenny. That's how I recall it.
The one question I was going to ask you about that whole thing was, so did Vince buy the knee injury, or was Vince just so sort of in love with Shawn that he didn't mind? Like, I'm always curious about how Vince saw that whole situation.
It's really hard to know what Vince was thinking. I mean, the way they played it, it was as if Vince believed that Shawn was in severe pain and couldn't wrestle. But I don't believe that to be true. I think he could have done it. But I mean, Vince saw Shawn as the future of his company. And I think he was making a lot of allowances for him. I think it was just that simple. I think that's it, really. He was just making excuses for him.